So for our first interview, we have former General Dark Carvin of the Strength of Many and former General in Survivors of the Siege. He couldn't call because his mic's broke, so we sent a couple texts back and forth. I asked, so where do you think this phone went wrong? He said, like, people were being, too active. I don't blame him, no. So I was like, do you think the game is in a sharp decline? Do you think it's because the game is in a sharp decline at its net? He said, yeah, I think CWA is too lazy on the updates. So also, when Eggs, the leader, decided to stop playing CWA, he relied on his council generals. Do you think that may have played a role in this, for example? He said definitely, the generals are not on too much, with a few exceptions like Steiner Dryon. That's also the thing with Rex Vortex and how Eggs handle that. Do you think that might have hurt the squad too? And he said, yeah, I have to admit, I was supporting Eggs at first. I think a leader breaking his own rules could set a bad example to the squad. There was a whole scandal over that. It was just a whole mess with that, really. And I said, in his council generals, I think that was a bad decision, since he couldn't really get anything done, and if multiple generals are online, there's no singular leader. They would have to rely on this whole council, which I honestly didn't think was a great idea. And then he said he agreed, and I was like, and so I asked him, do you think Stunner Dryon, who is now the de facto leader of the whole Survivors of the Siege legacy and the Strength of Mini's legacy and the squad's Survivor War, which I'm now in. Um, I asked him if he think he can keep the squad intact during these difficult times for the game. He said, yeah, he's a really nice guy and he's really dedicated to what he does. So, yeah, he would. So that's his thoughts on where Strength of Mini went wrong. So, our next interview will be with former General of Strength of Mania and former General in Survivors of Siege, Davey Karczewski. So, Davey, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. So, yeah, Strength of Mania has been deleted. What's your thoughts on this on this?
I'm not really surprised, to be completely honest. I mean, not only that Clone Wars has kind of had a little bit of a fallout with the members that have been around since launch. No, like General Eggs, for example, who was the leader. But it's just like there's been. It's like it's the squad's been empty for a while. It's like half the time I've been online ever since like 2 months after the squad came up.
Mhm.
I would usually be sometimes the only person online for like a few hours if I were on
Yeah.
for a few hours. So I kind of would have to have gone down at some point. I mean, sure, there was no drama or anything like in Survivors, but still, it was kind of inactive for a couple of reasons. So I'm not surprised, really.
Yeah, also, when Eggs decided to quit CWA, he relied on his council of generals, and from my understanding, you were a general, and he kind of like relied on you and other generals, for example, like Melina or Rex. And like, do you
hmm
think that was there like any division between you guys, despite you all being friends, but you may have like your own like agendas or whatever?
Okay, I'm not a betraying type. I'm not a leader type. If anything, I'd prefer to be second in command, if anything. But I mean, like I said, squad's been inactive. Our website has been inactive for months. There was never any conflict between us at all about who wants to be the leader at all, especially since General Eggs would have to, do that leader glitch. I'm not sure if it still works to make someone a leader. So,
Hmm.
yeah, there was no conflict at all at any point. No kind of secret anarchy going on, as far as I know, though, because like I said, I was usually the only person online.
Yeah, and also there was a scandal at some point during the Strength of Mania with the whole Rex Vortex issue. I'm not gonna
Oh,
yeah, I'm not
yeah,
gonna
that.
get into a whole lot of that, but anyway, so like do you think how Rex Eggs handled that? Do you think that may have affected the squad in a negative way?
Not really. I think it was just, as far as I know, just like two people really. That was him and someone else joined a little squad. They threatened war as a couple people did in Survivors of the Siege. They threatened us with war and stuff, all that nonsense. But like 2 weeks later, after the threats, nothing happened. So I always knew nothing really would happen in a negative way. Honestly, I think that little issue may have boiled some blood a little bit in the squad, but other than that, nothing serious really came out of it in the end.
Yeah, so, okay, last question is that, Stunner is now the default leader, he's the de facto leader of the Survivors of Siege's legacy, and now Strength of Mini's legacy. Do you think that he can keep the successor squad going in these difficult times for the game?
That depends on how many people join that are that were in Survivors and if they're active or not.
Oh,
I don't think Stunner was active that much on Clone Wars the time I was on either. You know, when I was on, I didn't see Stunner online pretty much ever. It was a rare case when he was on. So you know, if he can manage to stay online and get a bunch of members from Survivors and try and live up to Strength of Many and the Survivors name by doing events and stuff, which you know, granted Strength May tried to do, but there were some problems where people couldn't come online and stuff.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
I mean, really, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm probably not going to join the squad since there's pretty much no point to squad to this point except for it's just it's a secondary friends list, really, in the end.
yeah.
So, I guess good luck to Stunner if he's watching this. Hope he does good. If not, you tried your best, I guess. So, yeah, hopefully he can live up to its name. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but Stunner does have some members from Strength of Mania and Survivors of Siege, so it looks like he's on a good start. So,
Yeah, good start. Yeah, I'll give him that.
okay, well, thanks, Davey.
Yeah, no problem. Talk to you later.
Bye. Okay, so our final interview is with the former leader of Survivors of Siege and former general of Strength of Mania, Satora Corpi. So, hey,
Hey
Satora, what's up?
guys, it's awesome to be here, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, Strength of Mania has been deleted. So what's your thoughts on
Mm.
that?
um, I had a feeling it was going to happen eventually, and for obvious reasons. One, because the game, it's been only less and less popular lately, um, and I also understood that Eggs eventually appointed. I think he appointed a council of people to
Yeah,
run
Council of Generals.
Council of Generals, um, and I always think that in real life, an idea like that would work. But on Clone Wars Adventures, where like the promotion system is like so, just undetailed, that just by promoting someone, it's not going to guarantee that they're going to have as much ownership over the squad as they can. Um, so I knew it was coming, but I guess yesterday was the day.
It got deleted like 11 days ago. So I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
I just found it out yesterday. So
Wow. Yeah,
yeah.
I learned that too.
So like, was there anything different that you would have done in Strength of Mania that had you done like in Survivors of Siege? Because you also deleted Survivors of the Siege because you just got tired of leading it. But was there like anything you would have done different with Strength of Mania?
Um, well, it's kind of hard to say because Eggs, he did a lot of the right things right off the bat. He made the website to promote the squad a bit more. They had squad events every week. Um, I don't want to say it's like really. Well, that's probably you're probably asking another question, but I really think he did the best job possible up until he decided he's not going to play anymore. So, but other than that, they had everything down.
Mm. Yeah, so like also there was a scandal with the Strength of Mania with Rex Vortex and
Oh, that's right.
that whole issue,
Good
and
point.
and we like heard and Rex and Eggs just like really just said really negative things about each other. Do you think that may have impacted the squad in like a very negative way?
Uh, Perhaps not very negative, but it was pretty significantly negative to the squad because when the leader is arguing with one of the members over something that no one knows is true or even happens, whether or not people wanted to take sides, I know a couple people left because of it. They joined Rex's side when he left and made a new squad and all that stuff. So it did have a rather bad impact on the squad.
Yeah, I talked to Davey about like the whole Council of Generals. There was like no partisanship in that, so like, but there's no
Right.
real. From what he knew, there was no like arguments like who was going to be the leader and all that. But
Mm,
I mean, again, like for one, like if there's like multiple generals, then there's like no real leader. And Eggs decided that he kind of gave up on the game. And it's like, I
mm.
mean, I don't blame him. I mean, I'm pretty much done with the game too. I'm just
Yeah.
waiting for
Right.
Camino.
Well, yeah, the reason I think that he probably should have stayed there the whole time is I remember one of my original squads, which I only led for about 3 weeks, Minions of the Force.
Uh-huh.
The leader when Old Republic came out in 2011, he played it like nonstop. He beat the game in like less than a month, which
Dang.
for me at least is a pretty big feat. Um, and
Just hold on, hold on. I'm coming! Sorry about that. Just my parents. Yeah, so, yeah.
and so he eventually didn't lead as much, and then one day like six of the squad's strongest members stepped down. They left, and it wasn't the same since. So I offered to take up leadership, and he gave that to me. And I just felt like I couldn't run it because I wasn't the person who started the squad, so I didn't feel very passionate about it. So I guess the same thing might apply to Egg's case.
Mm. Yeah, so last question. So like Stunner Dryon, who was a former general and survived the siege and strength of me, he's now the de facto leader of like both squads' legacy. So what qualities do you think he has to like carry on that responsibility? Do you think he can do in these difficult times for the game?
If I remember correctly, I think I added Stunner to the squad sometime 4 to 5 months before it was deleted. So he was there for a good amount of time. He saw most of our big, just our big popular squad events. Um, I think he's very loyal. He'll be loyal to his members. He'll probably listen to their feedback if they give it to him. Um, and of course, he has a sense of duty because obviously he stepped up to make these squads in remembrance of these past two squads, survivors and strength of many. Uh, Other than that, I can't say too much about him because haven't really known him for uh, a huge amount of time. But I think I appreciate what he's doing at least.
Okay. Well, thanks, Zach.
Mhm.
Mm.